This is 5 on your side at 10. Focused on you.
And we begin at 10 with the Hermann community showing its support to the police officers shot in the line of duty this week. One of them died. The other is in critical condition tonight. Good evening. I'm Brent Solomon. Tonight, a vigil for Detective Sergeant Mason Griffith and Officer Adam Sullentrop. Our Robert Townsend takes us to the somber ceremony.
On this Friday night, you can see this huge flag blue in the wind here in Hermann, Missouri. It was all part of a touching tribute to Detective Sergeant Mason Griffith.
It's very tragic.
It was just shocking.
On Sunday, Detective Sergeant Mason Griffith and his partner, Officer Adam Sullentrop, were both shot in the line of duty at this Casey's gas station in Hermann. The 34-year-old Griffith died from his injuries. 31-year-old Sullentrop was critically wounded.
It's not something we really see in small towns, and whenever something like that actually happens, it really brings us together.
The small community of about 2,200 came together at Hermann High School's gym. They wore blue and black ribbons in honor of the fallen police officer who proudly served his community for 6 years. Detective Sergeant Mason Griffith leaves behind a wife and 2 sons.
It hit our children hard when it happened because they knew him as an officer.
Ashton and Chris Kennedy attended the vigil with their 3 scouts.
He was involved in the schools, like he did the hallway walks a lot, and he done the tour for the Cub Scouts at the police station, and he was just really involved with the kids.
And the cops that we have here, they're really good at really showing that they care for us.
Dozens of mourners also honored Officer Adam Sullentrop, who remains in the hospital. Sullentrop has been with the Hermann Police Department for 3 months. Kaylee Karpinski is a friend of the officer and his wife.
It's really comforting seeing the community come together and seeing everybody rally around together and just the love that's been brought together.
Love for 2 selfless, dedicated Hermann police officers. 1 gone too soon.
When it hits hard.
In Hermann, Robert Townsend.
He made himself a part of the community.
5 on your side.
Services for Sergeant Griffith will happen Sunday at Owensville High School. Visitation is from 9 a.m. until 2 p.m. The funeral is at 2. After the funeral, there will be a procession from the school down Highway 19 to Highway 28. It moves to Highway 50 and east to Reserve Street, ending at Emmanuel Lutheran Cemetery in Rosebud. The man accused of shooting those 2 police officers pled not guilty to murder and armed criminal action charges this week. Kenneth Lee Simpson was supposed to have a hearing Monday, but it is canceled. Right now, a new date has not been announced. Tonight, police are looking for whoever shot 2 men in South City. It happened at a parking lot between Caroline Street and Rutgers Street around 4:15 this afternoon. Investigators say gunfire hit 1 man in the back, the other in his abdomen and arm. Both are recovering. No word yet on a motive. A Metro East man is in jail tonight, accused of killing his infant son. Dustin Shires of Highland is charged with first-degree murder after investigators say he injured his 3-month-old son in the chest and head, causing his death. Police say on Tuesday afternoon, EMS responded to Shires' home for a call of an infant who was not breathing. The child was flown to a St. Louis hospital and was later pronounced dead. Investigators determined the injuries were not an accident. Shires was arrested on Wednesday. He faces 60 years in prison if convicted. Developing tonight, in New York City law enforcement preparing for a possible indictment of former President Donald Trump, which could happen as soon as next week. Multiple reports say local, state, and federal agencies are discussing how to secure areas in and around Manhattan's criminal court. The DA is still deciding on whether or not to move forward with criminal charges against Mr. Trump in connection with the alleged hush money payment to Stormy Daniels. He has denied all allegations. Tonight, there is an arrest warrant out for Russian President Vladimir Putin. The International Criminal Court accuses him of war crimes in Ukraine. He's accused of overseeing thousands of kidnappings and deportations of children from Ukraine to Russia. If Putin leaves his country, he will be arrested. Well, their arrests have sent shockwaves through the lead belt. The Iron County Sheriff, 2 deputies, and a citizen are accused of trying to orchestrate a parental kidnapping. And today, 5 on Your Side spoke exclusively with Sheriff Jeff Burkett's attorney. He says his client is being prosecuted for just doing his job. Court documents show that sheriff and deputies allegedly used their police resources to track down the citizen's child and the child's mother following a domestic disturbance.
Nobody was duct taped and thrown in a trunk here. In fact, they never even made contact with the child. So no one was in any imminent apprehension of danger by these deputies trying to locate and make sure a child was safe.
Burkett is being held on a $500,000 cash bail. As a bond recommendation, prosecutors are asking he be removed from office. Well, Iron County Coroner Tim Harbinson, who will serve as sheriff, said in part, quote, "This is a job that I take seriously. The citizens of Iron County can be assured that we have plans in place for continuity. Citizens will have adequate law enforcement coverage." Tonight, a judge is giving the Missouri Attorney General more time to file an amended petition in the legal battle to remove the St. Louis Circuit Attorney from office. The judge gave Andrew Bailey until March 21st to bring more charges against Kim Gardner. Gardner will then have until March 31st to respond before the judge makes any more decisions about the case, including whether to dismiss it altogether. Well, it was a sea of green in Dogtown today. Hundreds of people coming out for the annual Ancient Order of Hibernians St. Patrick's Day Parade. 5 on Your Side's Justina Coronel was there and takes us to the festivities.
Groups of green gravitated towards Dogtown. Hundreds lined up for the 38th St. Patrick's Day Parade sponsored by Ancient Order of Hibernians. The event began in 1984 to highlight the many contributions of Irish people to America. Being Irish himself, Dan Welsh is the owner of Route 66 Dispensary, and he's happy to help.
The area that we're at, which is just east of McCausland, has seen some better days, so we were hoping to be able to kind of stimulate the economy and stimulate the area.
As for the crowds, not even the cold could stop their commitment.
The diehards are going to come out here, they're going to party, they're going to have a good time. It don't matter what cold it is, if it's raining, if it's snowing. The only thing that saved me is this beard.
Garrett Ketterling bundled up with the same outfit he's worn for the last 17 parades.
This outfit took me 10 years to piece together. Didn't buy it, just made it. The beard I grew out for 5 months out of here just so I could dye it.
But probably the most experienced parade goer is Julie Colombo. She's lived in Dogtown her entire life, 100 years.
When you get my age, miracles happen. I don't know how in the heck I got this.
She had the great honor of being this year's Grand Marshal.
I don't know who was the loudest, the people or me, but I was waving that wand.
Colombo said she's in love with Dogtown, but also the energy of this year's parade.
I think it's one of my biggest, and I've seen many.
She's shocked by the turnout and the fact that she was chosen. For her, it was like finding gold.
This has really been a real surprise to me. I had no idea. It's like a dream. Happy St. Patrick's!
Justina Cornell, 5 on Your Side.
And the city of St. Charles also getting into the St. Patrick's Day spirit. This afternoon, a parade moved down historic Main Street. Donations and proceeds from the floats go to local charities and organizations. Still ahead, celebrating all things Eagles, where you can get an up-close look at the bird of prey this weekend.
Chilly today and even colder tomorrow. Here's a reinforcing shot of cold air, and along it, some flurries and snow showers, even a lightning strike in western Missouri. A little bit more on this and the weekend forecast coming up.
Well, get ready to celebrate all things Eagles. Tomorrow is World Eagle Day, and the World Bird Sanctuary in St. Louis County is showing off their fine feathered birds of prey. Visitors will have the unique opportunity to see eagles up close, including the American bald eagle. The World Eagle Day festivities goes from 10 a.m. until 4 p.m. It costs $12 per car. Turning now to your weather first forecast. Jim Castillo hard at work for us as we gear up for the weekend. How are we looking, Jim?
Yeah, so it's so cold, obviously. And there's another reinforcing shot of cold air. So St. Patrick's Day, we got up to 45. And then lows tonight behind the front that's coming through, down in the teens and low 20s. So get ready for that. Tomorrow is really the coldest day. 45 today, 29 for the low, 57 and 37 are the averages. So we had a little bit of rain after midnight last night and some fog. That pink there is the colder air. But by next week, when you see the yellows and oranges in here, and even midweek, we'll get into the 60s, Wednesday. Thursday could be our one day in the 70s, and then a chance of showers and storms after that. But it's winter right now, and the spring equinox is Monday. So 34 degrees right now, feels like 28, but the wind, notice that, it's died down a little bit. It was gusty all day, but the wind comes back with that front, and the next couple of hours here, it gets gusty again with wind gust 20, 30 miles an hour. So right now the wind is relaxed a little bit, and there's just a little bit of moisture with this. If you look really carefully here, there's a lightning flash right there. Very rare because it's just some snow shower activity right along that front. This is not rain. And so we'll watch to see if we get some flurries in here or even a quick snow shower. I think the best chance of that's right to the west of Columbia, so maybe in our southwestern counties, Reynolds County. So we'll watch this. Futurecast is picking that up as the front moves through. So clouds increase, and there it is, just right along that front. A brief snow shower or maybe some flurries, and then it's just cold and windy, and then sun and clouds mix tomorrow. And as we get into Sunday, it'll be much more in the way of all sunshine. But that Futurecast wind chill, look at this. This is 7 a.m. tomorrow morning. 9 is what it's going to be in St. Louis, or feel like, with that wind out there. And then throughout the entire day, teens for the real field temperature. All right, so it's a St. Louis City SC match. 29 degrees at 7:30 when the match begins, partly cloudy. And if you're tailgating for the Battle Hawks, this is what it looks like, just really cold. Everybody's still going to go out there, I'm sure. Partly cloudy, 15 to 25 mile per hour wind gust. All right, 34 for the high temperature Saturday, then 42 Sunday. Much more in the way of sunshine Saturday. Spring equinox on Monday, 55, 56 on Tuesday. There it is, the shower chance Wednesday, 60s, and the rain and thunder chance as we get into Thursday.
Yeah, cold, cold, cold. But we can get through it, right?
Yes.
I think we can. Jim, thank you so much. That's it for your news tonight. But Corey Miller with 5 on your sideline.